Morning, Ulu. How's it going? We are going to actually beat Endwalker today. What more do you have to level at this point, Ulu? I'm just assuming that you're max everything. Ten jobs ranging from 73 to 83. Hey. Welcome back. Mrs. Sreen's still in the Ocular. Will we be joining her there? Yes. Very good. If you would care to head inside, I should send for Captain Lena and Beck Luke at once.
Ah, yes. The king has already shared what they glimpsed in the source. The day is won, and the danger past.
Oh, the king being Titania.
Hearing the tidings lifted a great weight from my shoulders. Never before had I taken on such a monumental request.
Small though it was, we are glad to have played a role in saving the Exarch's home. And yours.
I'm surprised that she isn't
Furthermore,
angry
the
that
endeavor
we didn't
served
reach out to her.
Reaffirm the bond between the peoples of Norvrant. Nurturing this bond, we will strive to be an example for the world Zero aspires to restore.
Is that a Memoria crystal? I can feel it. The tremendous darkness within. Using darkness from the void to restore balance to this world. If such a thing could be done! Well, well. Though night has returned to our world, darkness cannot arise of its own accord, much less in abundance. But if it could be brought here, in like manner to how we channeled light to the void, it may well be possible to restore the empty in its entirety.
A future adventure where we go to, like, first Doma would be neat. Or first Tural.
Do you still have that spirit vessel with you?
Yeah, you're
If
still...
so, I beg you loan it to me for a time. I would use it to investigate a way to have the tower receive rather than send energy.
Y'shtola gave me her spirit vessel, but the one that controls the tower is Graha's vessel. I guess all of them have Graha's blood in it, though, don't they?
While I make no promises at this stage, I shall rigorously explore the possibility. I too need to explore new possibilities for my powers.
My recent experience at Nabatha Reng has taught me that. To that end, I will set aside botany for a time, and focus instead on myself. Knowing Zero is out there, doing her utmost to restore her own world, it inspires me to redouble my efforts.
So long as I was loath to trust for so long I was loath to trust in others, fearful of my research being misused again, that it might serve noble ends comes as a relief. I shall spare no effort to restore the balance between light and dark. A brighter tomorrow awaits. Zero's light will shine the way. It was a mighty struggle, but I had faith you would be victorious in the end, and I doubt not the people of Norvrant will cheer when they learn the Warrior of Darkness managed to save his home. I know you're a busy man, so don't let us keep you. Rest assured that we'll continue the work that we've begun. Pretty good. I'm not the one doing the decorating myself. It is almost entirely Robert who's handling it, but let me see if they I left them last night a little bit before they got offline, so let's see. So you've got like our living room pretty much entirely taken care of. And then we got our little hallway back here that leads to our rooms. I still have to buy one, because I am poor. I'm still very poor. And then did they do anything with the basement? They have not done anything with the basement yet. But it's coming along. Thank you again for all the help. Back to Megaduda. But a humble servant I have from my heart, but thanks for rescuing the Satrap's beloved sister. Without further ado, the feast, the great feast to celebrate this joyous occasion is about to begin. The venue is Marids, and they pronounced the second word. I know that they've pronounced it, and I don't know what it is. I think it's Mahane, though. Marids Mahane, and you're a guest of honor.
It cannot be. Oh, Vashan, my darling little brother. To think that I will never see you again.
The way you carry on, anyone would think he was actually your brother. Save your tears now. His Excellency still has one of his eyes. And he has made it clear he intends to continue using his vessel. You'll see Varshan again. Never fear.
Truly? But will it be the little one?
Personally, I prefer the adult vessel. It cuts a gallant figure and has superior functionality besides.
Bah, I don't care about such things. My little brother is little and adorable.
Sisters, give me strength.
It's a
So is-
fine thing being so loved.
So is he just gonna stop being a dragon then? Can I like put his dragon body in like stasis?
Had enough of the revelry, have you? So, what's next for our hero?
Go on vacation to Brazil with my boyfriend.
No need to decide just yet. You'll recall our escapades in the void began with a treasure map I paid entirely too much gil for. You can't force an adventure. It'll happen when it happens. And you'll know when the time is right.
Yeah, I'd imagine the alchemist can probably put it in like stasis or something.
Till then, it's good to lend an ear to others and their tales. And speaking of others,
Cause like I wouldn't give up being a dragon
Discussing
entirely.
each other's plans, are we? Alas, I have nothing exciting to share. I foresee an extended confinement in my Sharlayan chambers, compiling my theories on cross-rift travel.
Yeah, but see, Yashol, you were in the Dawn Trail trailer, so that's a lie.
My research may be classified, prohibited by the powers that be. But so long as a bond exists between people, ever shall our worlds be connected. As it stands, a means to travel to the first is within reach, and I would be satisfied even should my research not exist in an official capacity. And what of you, Estinian? Have you any plans?
Did he jump out the window again?
He never was one to stay put for long, though I've no doubt he will make himself known when needed.
He's also coming to Brazil with us. He absolutely jumped out the window again. That's just, he didn't jump out the window in my timeline, but I have seen the Estinian version of the cutscene. The lively feast was not impressed upon me once again how dear Vritra is to his people. Well, as much as I should like to linger, 'tis past time I took my leave. If you meant to depart as well, I suggest you call him Vritra before setting out. Before I forget, thank you for everything we learned and everything we accomplished. I couldn't be more grateful. Until next time, take care. Steyr really said, ah! Barshan! I hope you enjoyed the festivities. To be able to create celebrate Ashdai's return with everyone was moving beyond words. Lest you wonder, I've chosen to use this vessel for now to better escort my sister about Rod's at Han. This is my true form without an eye, but I do not anticipate having need of it in the immediate future. Long have I dreamed of showing Ashdai my beautiful city, a glittering jewel born of unity, and I shall relish every moment of it. Now then, I believe Y'shtola and Asinian have embarked on their respective journeys, but have you yourself business elsewhere? If not, you're welcome to remain here as long as you like. Should aught of import arise, we will inform you, but until such a day arrives, I bid you take your ease. Can I get a minion Ashdaya? Meanwhile, in old Charlian.
Everything appears to be in order. Oh, finished at last. So time-consuming. How nice would it be to have a mammoth to handle such tasks? Now then, let's have a look at you.
Kral, you've been accepted to Smash Bros. Beat the shit out of Isabelle.
Quite old, this letter. We'll need to store it carefully. Addressed to Grandfather, and come all the way from Tuliolal, from a Gulu someone. Oh, the ink's too faded. Hardly anything is legible.
Ask Y'shtola, she'll figure it out.
Come on, give me something.
She can ether sight it. Read the ether of the ink. What's the use of being blind but literate if you can't... If you just can't do this?
A commission to investigate the Golden City in Tural. How odd. No one ever mentioned such a commission, nor have I seen any records. Something else in here. What an unusual earring. How does it relate to the petition, I wonder? Oh, did you go there, Grandfather? To the Golden City in Tural?
Back again already, after making a show of leaving. Well, this is it, Charlian. Quite a far cry from Tuliolal, yes?
The legs. The fabled legs.
Come, let's go and find your candidate, our adventurer friend.
I remember hearing how people were obsessing over those legs for a while, trying to figure out what possible race it could be, and that they data mined it, and it was just the legs. Aww. Ah, one of my clerks was just about to send a message with you. The students of Aldessian requested your presence in Charlian at your earliest convenience. Indebted as I am to our friends, I had hoped that I too might be of service, but it is you alone they require. If you've no pressing business, pray make your way to the Baldessian Annex at once. Ojiko awaits your arrival. In the meantime, I shall continue showing Ajudaya the city. From notable landmarks to people's lives, there's much and more for her to see. Farewell now, my friend. I look forward to the day we set forth on another adventure together. Warm and hearty welcome to you. I gather you received our message. Please wait while I fetch Kral and Graha. I find it weird people had to overanalyze what the next race could be when, like, they've said for a while it's female Hrothgar, right? Thank you for coming on such short notice. Forgive us for sending you, for you so soon after your trials in the void. Now then, we weren't actually the ones who require your presence, but Erenville. He stopped by recently, you see, and asked us to reach out to you on his behalf. And also, Graha wants to go on a date. I imagine you're as surprised as we are, given that he was supposed to be away on a long expedition. Something must have necessitated a change in his plans. All he would tell me is that there is someone with whom he wishes Missing to meet. He also mentioned that he would be tending to business at the studium. Shall we look for him there? What am I doing? Teleport. Arabelle's early return is likely something to do with the visitor. Who could it be, I wonder? Now then, where's Erenville?
Erenville!
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important. I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination, so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
The New World. Tural.
You went to Tural? Then the person who you wish to introduce...
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
But it seems you've lost her.
Did she wander off?
Oh, she's wearing the earring. That's why her hood is down, to show you that she's wearing the earring.
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Well, while you were exploring, your candidate came to us. This is him. The adventurer you crossed the seas to meet.
Ooh, you weren't exaggerating. It's plain he's no ordinary man. I'm Uklamat, claimant to the throne of Tuliyola.
Tuliyola.
It's Tural's governing nation. The capital bears the same name.
I'll get to the point. I want you to come with me to my homeland.
Given the magnitude of the request, perhaps you should explain why you're making it?
Of course, of course. Soon, an event of great import will be held in Tural. The Rite of Succession. Taking the form of a contest, it will determine who next ascends the throne. As daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention of winning. I was searching for champions to join me when Erenville told me about you. A mighty warrior who knows no fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence and saved our star.
Okay, but what are your policies?
She asked who Eorzea's greatest hero was, and so I told her. Much more elegantly, I might add.
Before I go about installing you as head of government, can we,
Now
go
you know
over...
why. You'll come to Tural, yes?
What's your opinion on social liberties?
Let's all just slow down. Wuklamat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
Tulihyolal is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulsha, as some across the seas are quick to assume. That said, its present ruler is a Mamulsha, and one blessed with two heads besides. He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
So that is the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
Hardly. I know little about your land, and nothing about your parentage. But in my eagerness, I've gotten ahead of myself. I can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me.
You said adventure. It's Graha's trigger phrase.
No, this is only a rumor. But apparently, the contest will involve the fabled city of gold and the legendary beast, Valyarmanda. Tell me that doesn't pique your interest.
Again, though, what are your governing policies? I can't install you and then find out that you're out here trying to, repress public speech or something. I'm staking my reputation as Warrior of Light on this. I've heard about it before from my other boyfriend.
So the tales have reached even these shores. Can't help but feel proud.
I mean, they reached the end of the universe.
I advise you not to put much store by these rumors. Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
Says the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child. Just because you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Tuliyollal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to Grandfather.
Regardless of what the contest may entail, it'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I'll need capable and dependable companions. So let's go on a hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
Long and short. That's the long and short of it. At the very least, I ask that you go on this hunt of hers and take her measure for yourself. Journey to Tyrol. Where to for a hunt? The stronger the prey, the better. The chance to see not only Tyrol, but the fabled Golden City besides. This is the stuff of grand adventures, my friend. Which is not to say that we should hastily accept this invitation, mind. There's still a great deal we don't know again. Like what kind of policies she intends to implement as queen. Let us begin to rectify that by first getting acquainted with our visitor in the manner she suggests. I'm not certain what might be a suitable location for her hunt, however. When I was at the guild earlier, I learned about a petition from researchers on the Isle of Ham. You went there not long ago and culled some unruly fauna, of course, but according to recent reports, other ordinarily docile fauna have grown savage. It's believed that they've been unsettled by some manner of predator, and so the researchers seek assistance in identifying and dispatching it. As part of your hunt, might you answer the petition? The isle isn't far, and we would also be helping those in need. That works for me. Just so you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Tyrol. Whatever this creature is, it had better be able to put up a proper fight or it'll end before we have a chance to get acquainted. New music. Is it the Dawn Trail leitmotif? No, it can't be the Dawn Trail leitmotif because the leitmotif is from the song. Before we can prove ourselves capable and dependable companions. My apologies, but I must see to some preparations. Pray go on ahead to the Isle. I'll join you as soon as possible. Is she class changing to Pictomancer? If the rest of you are ready, let's head to the harbor. This being guild ship business, it should be simple enough to secure a vessel. By the way, Ulu, so my gang's trying to do a level 1 to 200 run of Palace of the Dead. Do you know if I haven't yet unlocked floors 51 to 100 and then so on, does it still all count as the same run? Because I know you're not supposed to be able to you can't wipe even once. You have to be going from like a straight 1 to 200. But if I hit 50 and technically can't continue, does that also fuck it up? Because I have to unlock the next 50 floors? Crowd was acting a little strange, don't you think? Maybe it's a simple hunt. It's a simple hunt. I wonder what preparation she needs to make. She's becoming Pictomancer. We have the loan of a ship from one of the captains, a cheery fellow. I can operate the vessel, so we don't need to trouble him to take it to us. We don't need to trouble him to take us. We have to take a ship, and I barely set foot on dry land. Oh well, I suppose it's for a good cause, a hunt. Come on, let's get going. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. Here we go.
From here, we must walk.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural. Oh, a white bear. I wonder what it tastes like.
Remember, We're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed an unacceptable danger. Do not attack anything else unprovoked.
What class are you, Aaronville? Do you have any combat abilities?
So this is the isle where ether literally bursts forth.
Aye, the Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
Yeah, we're trying to, like...
Kona told me nothing about this place.
We want to see if we can get some of the more expensive mounts to maybe fund an upgrade to the house.
Managed to come out this way. He's like to have toured facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
The great big cavern under the city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there complete with a sun.
This brother of yours, he has been to Sharlayan?
He has. Kona's my second older brother, and until recently he was a student in the city. He went on and on about technological amusements. It made me want to come here too one day. And so I did. I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studium.
He went to the studium? Your brother must be quite a scholar. But I wonder, like you, he'd be royalty, yes? With such a personage coming to Sharlayan to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand, that his identity might remain secret. Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in. He's adopted like me, you see. One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
Having no shortage of questions myself, I can imagine.
Ask whatever you like. I don't mind. But I maintain hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
The researchers should be up ahead. Let's find them and learn what we can. The researchers should be just ahead. There. The building to the northeast.
How is Kryl getting here?
Harmless creatures have grown savage.
Don't know what's got them riled up, but I'll take down any that thinks to try me. Right, let's hunt our fill.
No, yeah, my friend really likes Palace of the Dead anyway, though, so we're just figuring we'll do it. And also, I just need to finish it. I haven't done it on, like, any of my characters.
Look! Someone's in trouble! These animals are usually so docile.
We're also, my gang's mostly in, I forget, when does Eureka unlock? Because I also have not tried it. Because my gang's still in Heaven's Word. Thank goodness you've come. I take it you're the one who answered our petition. Aren't you? You're missing the adventurer who saved our star. Would that our meeting was under better circumstances. I was conducting a routine inspection of the transporter here when suddenly I found myself surrounded. You'll find more of the same across the chasm. Once docile animals grown strangely aggressive. My colleagues here can tell you more. If you'll give me a moment, I can finish checking our equipment.
You really are famous.
And for good reason, as you'll soon see for yourself.
Let's go. Eureka's in Stormblood. Okay.
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Is that our petitioner?
Also, my friend does want to try and get the mount for himself, too, so. Come to answer the petition. You should speak with my colleague here. The adventurers come to answer my petition, I presume? Well, we're most fortunate to have your considerable skills to aid us. A creature of unknown origins has been sighted on the island in recent days, and we believe its presence has affected local fauna. The animals beyond this gate are the worst affected we've encountered thus far, though we dare not go back. Your task is to quell any threats you find and search for traces of the beast responsible for all this. If you should find anything at all, we'd be most grateful if you could share it with us. Oh no, we're planning on it, we just don't have the money for it at the moment.
Is that all? Come on, let's pick up the creature's trail.
Do you know if they're going to add more wards when Dawn Trail comes out, or is that going to be a future patch thing? Ravaged beast remains, torn to shreds by sharp talons.
Claw marks. I've seen their like before. It's starting to feel like a proper hunt.
What manner of beast could it be? Has to be a clue here somewhere. Because, like, we do kind of want to upgrade to a medium house. And if they add more wards, that might be more doable than it is at the moment.
Feathers. But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
You presume it's even safe to eat? Still fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
Do you suppose they're upset we've stood them? Who knows? If they're spoiling for a fight, then they've got one.
Let's head back and report what we found.
Oh, invisible wall.
arms and razor-sharp talons. Worthy prey.
Oh, it's a giant toucan.
Ah! What is that thing?
What is that thing? What is that thing?
It speaks?
It's heading towards the falls.
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Come, Woklamat.
I thought that was one of the things they did announce. Also, is the 2 die channels coming just in based on trail, or is that also a 7.x thing?
Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
Forgive me, but I failed to see a difference.
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat.
Caught me by surprise! Caught me by surprise!
Think you're clever, huh? I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit!
I'll fight this bird with another bird.
I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Shut up already, you plastic bird!
I've never seen such an enormous colibri.
Not good. Quickly, gather together.
Ugh.
I've got you.
That was too close.
Steady now.
Ow. Yeah, they did say not all gear would be immediately supported, which is understandable. Oh. Also, do you think it's worth me trying to wake up at 4 in the morning to stream the dev letter? I'm like, damn, it's 4 in the morning. But they're probably going to be talking specifically about the Dawn Trail stuff. And she becomes a Beyblade.
Nothing to it.
There we go.
And I had barely limbered up.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
It's 4 in the morning. I don't know if I'm gonna bother staying awake.
Only to be expected. You were pretty impressive yourselves. I was right to invite you on a hunt. What a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Dirty tricks? Dirty tricks?
Aye, dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have easily...
This is when Kryle shows up.
Leave this to me.
Yeah! Check it out, guys. It's the new job from the upcoming expansion Dawn Trail. Available for pre-order now.
Kryle.
I am terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
She arrived as I was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what happened.
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you. In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamut. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
That was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I'm glad to have been of service.
May I ask what inspired this change?
Well, we needed a new class for the new expansion.
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Heidelin. Recognizing that my skills were inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar rather than join you. It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind again and again. That's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute. And after much deliberation, I arrived at my answer. With the esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy. As I recall, you have embraced versatility to effectively complement a certain someone's style. What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
Indeed. I must say, you appear to be especially keen on being involved in the ritual of succession. Is there any particular reason?
Yes, there is. This letter from Tuliolal. It was addressed to my grandfather Galuf and turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn Servant himself?
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this. Given how culturally diverse Tuliolal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed. But instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one. The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no? This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, it would have been in Turali. And what's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
So the letter is fraudulent, then?
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
I see. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuliolal. I can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am starving.
We're eating that.
Thanks to Booklamont, we know that we now know who sent the letter to my grandfather, among other things, but many questions still remain. I understand Carl's feelings all too well. The desire to do one's part, it can be daunting to try and keep up, but nothing will change unless we make the first step. What an exciting hunt that was, and now it's time to savor the reward. With the wildlife pacified and the researchers safe, our task is complete. It just leaves the matter of the Colbiri meat. For better or worse, there's really only one place we can take it to here in Charlian, the last stand. Come, let's see what Dickon can cook up for us. That's a famished face if I've ever seen one. What can I get for you? Bird meat from the hunt, you say? Leave it to me. I have just the recipe. It's a new dish I learned recently from some sailors, and for you lot, it's on the house. Have as much as you like, you hear?
Come, come. Let's enjoy the bounty of our first outing together. I'd heard that Charlayan cuisine was terrible, but this is fantastic.
What is this? Oh, it smells spicy.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft? It's not like we don't have spicy food in Tural, too.
Welcome back.
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Razadhan after a traveller ordered a curry with several times the usual amount of spice. So he started offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population here in Charlian.
It's nothing I can't handle.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
Would I be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Aye, thick as thieves since we were little.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
I see. I see.
All this time you were from Tural. Oh, would that I had known sooner. There's so much I'd like to ask.
You and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
Well, if he's going to be a miser, I'll be happy to tell you about our homeland instead. Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home, and they've been fighting each other for nearly as long. The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve his legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
A man who is too ambitious by half. Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural. While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war. I can't allow it. No matter what, I must win this contest.
Also, like, who wants to live in Garlemald? Even the Garleans don't want to live in Garlemald. Like...
I understand your reasons. But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
Oh, it's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it. The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies. That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well. And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tuliolal?
Again, can we discuss... Okay, so, like, not going to war with Garlemald is a good first start. What more do you plan to do with the government?
You don't need to decide right this moment. But I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
That's very kind of you. Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
Judging by Wuklamat's reaction, it appears Turali cuisine isn't excessively fiery. Whether Wuklamat has the markings of a ruler, I couldn't say, but I know that I do know that she cares deeply for her nation and her people. Whether you choose to help her, though, is for you and you alone to decide. Think on it well. Now then, it's past time I reported this mission's success to the guild ship. I would have done it sooner, except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. I shall come by the annex later. Till then. Dawn. Please tell me that this is a please tell me that this is what's her name? I just said her name. Ajdaya. Give me an Ajdaya mini. Dare say we now have a fair grasp of Wuklamat's situation. Still, you've been afforded time to consider her invitation. Why not use it to learn more about Tural? Numenon's bound to have some information on the continent. Certainly it would help to be better informed. Quite right, not only would it help you make an informed decision, but if you do choose to go, you'd be better prepared for what awaits. Come, my friend, let's be off to the archives. Research date with the boyfriends. History, geography, botany, the public archives alone could suffice to provide a solid grounding on Toral. It is impossible to adequately discuss the Eorzean cuisine without speaking of that land from which many of our modern-day staples hail, the far western continent of Toral. Ochre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, and even the ubiquitous potato, those crops, and more that regularly grace Eorzean dining tables trace their origins to the New World, as the place is known to most. The tale of this culinary immigration begins in the year of 1498 of the 6th Astral Era, when a Lominsian sailor named Kentram successfully traversed the Indigo Deep to arrive at the therefore unknown continent. Kentram spent several moons exploring the island, in the course of which he encountered denizens of the sprawling nation of Mamulja. He was even granted an audience with their supreme leader, whose confidence he won along with the permission to roam freely. Kettenram would return to Toral several times, but first during his expedition he charted the land and gathered myriad root vegetables and seeds to bring back to Limsa Liminza. The most notable of these was the popoto, of whose cultivation and nutritional values saw it quickly spread to all corners of Eorzea. Produce was far from the only bounty of Kettenram's expeditions to Toral. Many tantalizing recipes, such as the bean-filled burrito, and gripping legends such as the Golden City, reached our shores by way of his ship. To those outside of Kettenram's circle, Toral largely remains shrouded in mystery, yet its influence on our cuisine cannot be overstated. Many scholars, myself included, would relish the chance to immerse themselves in the culinary culture of that faraway continent. He conveniently did not bring malaria or anything. I can't wait for bean burritos being a raid level food. Every land has given rise to unique wildlife. The continent of Toral is no exception, yet while some of the creatures have become a familiar sight in Eorzea, many and more exist that are rarely seen on this side of the Indigo Deep. This tome introduces a select variety of species as described in the testimonies of sailors and archives. The alpaca, accustomed to Toral's craggy mountain ranges, this four-legged beastkin has been domesticated for seemingly hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Their soft white fleece is highly prized by weavers, while their strong legs and sure-footedness make them capable beasts of burden. Weaver, these ferocious scalekin, is native to the dense jungles of Toral. The Mamulja have succeeded in taming them and utilize their prodigious strength for manual labor. Given their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the Weaver is also employed as a siege beast. Enemy fortifications cannot long withstand the horned brute's rampage. Valgarmonda, Torali folklore holds that this bird-like creature is the mightiest of beasts and the very embodiment of nature's power. Whether it exists beyond myth, however, is uncertain. Let us begin by comparing the geographical characteristics of the three great continents of Toral. The former stretches from east to west and lies entirely within the northern hemisphere. In contrast, the latter extends to the far reaches of both the northern and southern hemispheres, and a difference immediately presents itself in the form of climate variance. Shifts in climate tend to be gentler when moving east and west, but harsher when moving north and south. Owing to this fact, the longitudinal migration is far more common in history, whether it be by men, animals, or plants. Case in point is the Alagans who rose to power in Aldernard before advancing to Ilzabard. Their movement would be mirrored thousands of years later by the Garleans. Meanwhile, though the disparate tribes of Toral waged war with one another for generations, stymied by their climate, none could make any great headway north or south. Tribes hailing from frozen lands withered beneath the desert sun, while those that thrived in the open plains could not pierce the dense jungle. Such was the way of it until the leader of the Mamulja succeeded in bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divided history and the reason thereof, one cannot help but be aware of this feat. Truly, it's a testament to the Autarch's greatness. The origins of blue magic can be traced back to the esoteric practices of the Wallaki, a tribe in the distant continent of Tyrol. Okay, so they're not from North America, they're from specifically Brazil. The tribe holds nature in the highest, and seeking to cultivate a spiritual connection with it, they have learned to harness the power of wildlife around them. In exchange for teaching them the common tongue, I was permitted to live among them and train in their ways. Those days were some of the most grueling I remember, but they were tremendously rewarding. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting the Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It is so named for the cerulean deposit that wells up to the surface, turning the entire canyon a brilliant blue. Under a shaman's watchful eye, I finally managed to master the Wallaki's art and make the animal's powers my own. As no name existed for it in the common tongue, I took the liberty of naming it Blue Magic. The reason I chose this color, as you will have doubtless gleaned, is for the significance it holds to the Wallaki. I cannot think of a name more fitting to honor the people of whom this noble magic was born. I'm assuming that book was written by the Blue Magic trainer. Scoured the library to your satisfaction, have you? Excellent. While there are a few books wholly dedicated to the subject of Tyrol, I dare say you've found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. Come, let's continue this outside. The mammoths do not take kindly to chatter. Now then, I'm quite keen to hear your honest impressions. I couldn't help but notice that we read the very same book on cuisine. I was pleasantly surprised to find references to Tyrol within. Among them, did anything in particular pique your interest? Popotos. I have a newfound appreciation for them. As have I, despite having just enjoyed a hearty meal, I found myself craving popotos. They keep well and are a boon to sailors, and it was that same property that allowed them to survive the voyage to Eorzea. The book also mentioned a method of preservation which sees popotos repeatedly frozen and dried. The resultant product was apparently used in a stew by people in the mountainous regions. I should like to sample that dish one day, and all the unique cuisines of the vast continent. Moving on, did you perchance learn aught about the fauna of Tyrol? Given your adventuring background, I expect the topic would interest you. I learned about alpacas. Yes, the alpaca. In addition to serving as beasts of burden, they provide clothing for people by way of their lush fleece. They are especially prized by mountain tribes who hold certain rare specimens sacred. I thought I heard familiar voices. Fancy running into you two here. Well, have some research of your own, do you? Aye, we hope to arm ourselves with knowledge that might benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Rods at Hom, they will next look to foster relations with other nations. This includes former imperial provinces. In view of this, we hope we might find hints in history of how neighbors of differing races and ideologies might engage with one another. Hey, conveniently, we're going to a nation that did just that! To also stop them from trying to invade Garlemald. If you want to, like, come with us... Nation composed of disparate peoples of Tyrol. I dare say this is precisely the kind of example we seek. We do well to read up on Tulioli ourselves. This contest is missing the only one allowed to help Wukalamat? There's no mention of such restrictions as I recall. On the contrary, Wook gave us the impression that she could have several champions. I think I know how to make the most of our respite. Follow me, Alphino. We have planning to do. Alice, wait! It would seem our plans have changed. If you'll excuse me. They never could rest on their laurels. Look who's talking, Mr. I traveled back in time and raised an entire nation for 100 years and still felt that I wasn't good enough. God.
It's just... Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story. What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse Worklamat's request?
Can I combine? I never say no to new adventures, but I'd rather not get involved in politics. Can both of those be true at the same time? But I feel like I'd never say no. I'd rather not get involved in politics is a bit... It's a bit of a weird statement at this point, given that I've been involved in, like, the rise and fall of several nations at this point. I'd rather not get involved in politics, says the Warrior of Light who single-handedly freed Garabanya.
Ha! I thought you might say that. With an intrepid attitude such as yours, I believe all shall be well. Be it the contest or something else, there will be many trials for you to overcome at your destination. But in the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you'll surely find a way forward. That's what adventurers do, is it not? Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tural remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenon. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and think. It's enough to stir me to the core.
I mean, you're coming too, man. I promised you a date.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another. Ah, but there's an idea. I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please, go on inside. I will join you shortly.
Betrayed. Why were you spying on me and my boyfriend? If you're looking for Wuklamot, she's currently within the other's inner chambers, which you, if you'd like, I can go fetch them for you. I had to come down with a case of hiccups. What am I waiting for? Waited the Where's the location I'm supposed to be waiting at? Oh, in the annex.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it.
I've never been one to turn down an adventure. I'll do it.
Excellent. You'll be compensated for your troubles, of course. But I dare say your time in Tural will be its own reward.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you?
Guys, we're supposed to be disbanded.
Alphino, Alize, what are you two doing here?
We happened to cross paths at Numenon earlier, you see, and I told them about Wuklamot. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
Ah, you must be the twins who are sneaking after Erenville's toads.
100 things about us you could have told her, and you chose that.
Alice looks betrayed.
First impressions last.
'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphino Leveilleur at your service, and this is my sister Alize.
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand titles. So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald from you as well.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
Nonsense! Like I told you before, you're indispensable. They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers, and spare them grisly deaths. I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was. Still, I can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
You have nothing to worry about. I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
No, Graha, you're coming with us! Just leave it to Ojika, they can handle it.
Graha.
You want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity.
You need to come with us and have tacos, Graha! Tacos!
Thank you, Raha. Thank you.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all to help me win the throne.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora. There.
Map of Tural. Oh! Larger!
This, my friends, is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loporrits. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan, for there it lies. The site of your next great adventure, Tural.
Endwalker! We did it! Is there like cool concept art? Just a whole bunch of concept art. But I gotta get to work. So I can't really take the time to look at all the concept art, unfortunately. But I did it! Yeah, I gotta get through the... Was she a cleric at some point? Look at that mace. The boyfriend. Okay, skip this. Lest you wonder about your passage to Tural, Arenville will arrange a ship through his guild. You need only worry about your own preparations. Speaking of which, please take this with you. A rugged and ready knapsack. May it serve you well on your coming adventures. Now, I'm not sure when the departure will be, but rest assured, I'll let you know when I hear something. It'll be in, like, give us, like, say, about 2 months? A little less than 2 months? Meanwhile, in Lemza Lamenza...
When does the next ship set sail?
May I ask your destination?
Tural, conveniently.
The north and east, I've already seen. I suppose I'll head west this time.
Well, West, you say?
Meanwhile, in old Charlian.
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
They are...
To think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
So, like, people ship Eorzea and Thancred really hard, right?
Indeed.
Like, they're husbands.
It will be a grueling task, having to contend with them.
Oh, they're working for a different one with a claim to the throne.
Doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition.
It is absolutely a tournament arc.
Thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, how could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
Then let us delay no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember. Come, my friend. We make for Taral.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty?
Check. Done that.
Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north?
Now working on that one. We're working on that one. It's in the pipeline.
The fabled golden cities of the New World.
Yeah, no, we're working on that one. That one's currently in progress. We're not going to mention the 12 because I know the raid series goes into that, and I have not done the raid series. With anchor now, the tide is high, and dawn of new adventure nigh. Row forth to break horizons beyond and tread the gilded path beyond. Yes! Yes! To be continued! Excellent. Actually, wait, no, let me cut this a bit better. Yes. Okay, cool. Cool. I gotta go clock into work. Thank you guys for hanging out. I am going to Pokemon Regionals next weekend, so I should honestly put some Pokemon teams together and focus on some Pokemon stuff for a bit. But I also do kind of want to take out those, I do kind of want to do the raids. Those are absolutely going to be done before Dawn Trail, hopefully. Till next time, though, I'll be seeing y'all later. Thanks for hanging out with me.